Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Mrs. Rodriguez, and for your 6th grade project you are working on symmetrical design. So no matter which symmetry you choose, you're going to be starting with a 6 by 6 inch square sloppy copy of tracing paper. If you don't happen to have this because you are doing remote learning, you can use a piece of lined paper. And what I'm going to do for each example is I'm going to fold it one or multiple times, and for most of them I'm going to give you a dotted or dashed line of symmetry. And why I like using the tracing paper for the sloppy copy is because if I have you make a design, and I like to use marker just so you can see them, but you can also sketch in pencil, it allows you to be able to create a design on one side and then just flip over your sloppy copy paper and see through the tracing paper and make your design on the second side. Now the good thing about vertical symmetry is it's the easiest symmetry you can do. I don't want any students saying I couldn't come up with an idea, because as long as you have a straight edge, a ruler, it could even be a book, the side of your cell phone, you can use anything to make a straight line design. The only thing that I ask is that you make sure you don't have any floating lines, but that all of your lines or shapes either touch each other or go to the edge of the paper to another line. And then like normal, I'd like you to put your name and code on your sheet. Radial design is the second option. It's a little bit more complicated, so I'll fold it in half and then I'll fold it again into quarters. And then as you can see, you can sketch out your design in pencil first and then go over it in pen or in marker, just so that you have a darker layer on the front, which is what I'm going to do with this example. And you can see that there's times when I've drawn some lines and some shapes to create a design. The idea behind the radial design is that you will be able to create a design and all 4 sections will match. Now once I'm done tracing with the pencil, I'm going to go over all of my details in marker, and then in order to make it symmetrical, I flip it over and trace the quarter section onto the other side. This will mean that I will have half of my design completed. Then in a moment you're going to notice I'm going to refold it, and now I'm going to trace the other half, and then I'll have a completed radial design. A third option would be diagonal symmetry, but all that really means is that I folded my paper on a diagonal, and whatever design I've done on one side of the diagonal, I'm going to flip it and I'm going to trace it on the other side of the diagonal. It's also sometimes called mirror symmetry. The last example is rotational symmetry. I happen to be folding my paper at a diagonal, but I could have folded it vertically or horizontally. And what I'm going to do is, for rotational design, you actually only need to make a design on one half of the paper. And what's going to happen is you're not going to see the rotation in this particular demonstration. You'll see it in the next demonstration. So I'm going to make a design, and then when it goes from this sloppy copy and we make it into a carbon copy and then trace it onto final paper, that is when you will notice that the design will rotate. So it's not something you're going to see at this point, but you will see at a later date. Have a great day.